Live from the campus of Penn State University, this is PSN News. It's Wednesday, November 13th. We have all you need to know about Penn State Board of Trustee elections, as well as more on the federal sentencing of a Center County man.
We also have more information on a fatal shooting at an Alabama university, along with entertainment, sports, weather, and an interview. Stay tuned. Thanks for joining us tonight. I'm Audrey Keller.
And I'm Hines. The Penn State Board of Trustees gave the green light for the construction of a new applied research laboratory. The facility will be 80,000 square feet and 4 stories tall. The building will feature space for research programs, conference rooms, and offices. The project is funded by the Applied Research Laboratory and will cost $91.1 million to complete.
Penn State's Board of Trustees also approved renovations and additions to the Sackett building. The 78,000 square foot building will include graduate student spaces, classrooms, and administrative areas. It will now house the Leonard Center for the Enhancement of Engineering Education. The $89.9 million project will also focus on general infrastructure upgrades, demolition, and landscape restoration.
The Penn State Board of Trustees elected David Kleppinger as the new chair and Rick Sokolov as the new vice chair. Kleppinger is from McNeese Wallace, and Sokolov is from Simon Property Group. Both graduated from Penn State with bachelor degrees. Kleppinger has served as the board's vice chair since 2021, and Sokolov has worked with the planning and finance committees. Both were the only ones nominated for their positions and were elected without any competition.
A man charged in a 2023 child predator sting in Center County was just sentenced to spend 7 years in federal prison, followed by 10 years of supervised release. Christopher Crispin pled guilty in May to one felony count of attempted enticement of a minor. He was one of 4 men arrested in a 2023 sting coordinated by the FBI and local police stations. An affidavit of probable cause filed says that Crispin engaged in a series of messages with an undercover cop posing as a 15-year-old boy. What can students expect outside this week? Student meteorologist Hannah George is live in the studio with the latest details. Hannah?
Thanks, Audrey. A bit more seasonable out there today, and it's been like that for a couple days now. A little bit on the chillier side, but that's what we expect more in November in Pennsylvania. A current temperature of about 41 degrees out there, and that dew point at 19 means it is pretty dry out there at the moment. High temperatures departing from average. You can see that here in State College, we are actually on the lower than average side of things for once. That has not been the case the past couple weeks, of course. And there's still places like Pittsburgh that are a bit warmer than average, but not by much at this point. You can see a lot of places are starting to see more of that blue, meaning they're a little bit cooler. And all of the state is on the cooler or average side of things total. You don't need to see any spotches of red or anything like that going on out there, which means we are more on the average or cooler side of things compared to what we've been seeing a lot of. Taking a look across the country at the moment, you can see a lot of places are seeing more of that cooling or the average temperatures. Very southern places are having some warmer conditions, but everyone is finally starting to get used to fall, even as we are approaching the later side of fall. You can see your 6 to 10 day outlook for temperatures here. We are still going to be a little bit on the warmer side, but previously here in Pennsylvania, instead of this lighter red color, we were darker red or brown, meaning we were a lot warmer. So we're slowly starting to cool down, like I've said. Taking a look at the radar at the moment, not a lot going on out there. You can see not even much cloud cover, though. You do see some clouds pushing on in from this big system that is going to move into Pennsylvania overnight. Speaking of overnight, your temperatures tonight, we're going to dip down to the mid 30s tonight, and we'll see that tomorrow when you wake up as well. We'll be staying consistently in those 30s throughout the day. Taking a look at the radar for the future, you can see it as we move into those overnight hours. Like I said, you see those clouds start to move in, and behind those clouds, we're going to see that system moving on in, very slowly creeping its way on in. Going to start first in the southwestern portions of Pennsylvania, and will slowly make its way towards State College. You can see we're really just going to be seeing some scattered showers here. Nothing too crazy, but rain is really welcomed here. You know, we've had a bit of a dry spell, and obviously there's wildfires that are happening in places of Pennsylvania even. So having that rain is a very, very nice thing to have. I know not everyone loves precipitation, but it is much needed here. You can see as we look at the weekend right now, just some cloud cover over State College. Not a lot of rain as we move into Saturday and as we move into Sunday. Though Sunday, there may be a little bit of rain there, but focusing back on today, tonight we'll be seeing that low of 31 degrees, and those clouds are going to move in, making it mostly cloudy. And tomorrow we'll wake up with a high of 46 degrees, and those clouds will officially be over us. It will be rainy, like I mentioned, so a little bit dreary, a little bit cool, but guys, we kind of need that at this point. Taking a look at your 7-day forecast here, that high tomorrow of 46, Friday a high of 54 as we warm up a bit, Saturday that high of 56, Sunday 57 with that rain in the PM hours like I mentioned. Monday a little bit warmer, 58 degrees, partly cloudy out there, so some sun peeking through. Cooling down a little bit for Tuesday with that temperature of 55 degrees and some sun. And Wednesday, a chance for some more rain. I think that's the most rain we've seen on that 7-day forecast in a very, very long time. Back to you, Audrey.
Thanks, Hannah. Now stick around because after the break, Bronwyn Leiber will have the latest in sports.
Hey everybody, thank you for tuning into this edition of Penn State Sports Night.
For all of us here at the Belisari Media Center, we are
Penn State Sports Night.
Live from the campus of Penn State University, this is PSN News.
Penn State Network News is a student-produced, bi-weekly live news show featuring all student talent.
From local and national news to sports, entertainment, weather, and live interviews, we have it all.
We also feature student-made packages from across campus.
Airing every Monday and Wednesday at 7 p.m.
We are PSN News.
Be sure to check us out on Twitter and Facebook at PSN News, on Instagram at Penn State Network News, and to subscribe to our YouTube channel at youtube.com/PSN News.
Have a good night and stay safe, Penn State.
Welcome back to PSN News. I'm Bronwyn Leiber with your sports update. The Penn State women's basketball team is off to a 3-0 start on the season. Despite the flawless record, though, the Lady Lions found themselves in hot water, trailing the Dukes by 18 early in Sunday's game. This was before redshirt sophomore Mariah Murray dropped 6 three-pointers and totaled 26 points on the game. This, alongside 4 other Lady Lions entering the double digits in points, allowed Penn State to regain the lead and win by 9, extending their non-conference win streak to 14 games, marking the third longest in the team's history. The Penn State women's soccer team has just received their NCAA bid, sending them into the postseason for the 30th straight season. This marks the second longest postseason streak in collegiate women's soccer history. Penn State was selected as the number 4 seed in Tallahassee region, and they will welcome the Colonial Athletic Conference champion, the Stony Brook Seawolves. The Seawolves will travel to Jeffrey Field on Saturday, November 16th at 6 p.m. On a national note, the soccer world is mourning following the loss of Ecuador international soccer player Marco Angulo, who passed away at the age of 22 following a car crash. The midfielder, who played for FC Cincinnati and the Ecuadorian League, had been in the hospital in intensive care since being involved in a car crash on October 7th. Angulo played twice for the Ecuador national team in friendly face-offs against Iraq and Australia. That's all for your sports update. After the break, Jaden Vogel has the latest in the world of entertainment, so stay tuned.
Hey everybody, thank you for tuning into this edition of Penn State Sports Night.
all of us here at the Belisari Media Center, we are
Penn State Sports Night.
Live from the campus of Penn State University, this is PSN News.
Penn State Network News is a student-produced bi-weekly live news show featuring all student talent.
From local and national news to sports, entertainment, weather, and live interviews, we have it all.
We also feature student-made packages from across campus.
Airing every Monday and Wednesday at 7 p.m.
We are PSN News.
Be sure to check us out on Twitter and Facebook at PSN News, on Instagram at Penn State Network News, and to subscribe to our YouTube channel at youtube.com/PSN News.
Have a good night and stay safe, Penn State.
Welcome back to PSN News. I'm Jaden Vogel with your entertainment update. Today, artist Kanupa Hongska Luger's reunion exhibit was presented in the Hub Robeson Center. Luger is a New Mexico-based Native American artist focused on shining light on the past. His pieces tell the story of Native American history in the United States. Through his pieces, Luger tells a story of the resilience and survival of people facing persecution. He recycles materials to show how humanity and the earth can live together in unity. The exhibit will be on display until March 5th, 2025. Though it may seem like we just celebrated Halloween, State College is getting into the holiday spirit. To celebrate the beginning of the festive season, Downtown State College will host Light Up Night on November 21st. Light Up Night will take place on Fraser Street's MLK Plaza in the 100 block of Allen Street from 5 to 8 p.m. The event will feature free popcorn and hot chocolate, crafts, performances, artisan vendors, and live reindeer. The night ends with Santa Claus lighting up the Christmas tree in a light show. The highly anticipated Wicked movie starring Cynthia Erivo and Ariana Grande will hit theaters on November 22nd, and the movie is adapted from a beloved Broadway musical and a similar runtime at 160 minutes. Wicked has been on Broadway for 20 years and will certainly carry its large fan base to the movies. Wicked is a prequel to The Wizard of Oz, following the story of the Wicked Witch of the West and Glinda the Good Witch before Dorothy. The movie will be playing at the College 9 Theater with tickets sold at standard prices. That's all for your entertainment update. Coming up next, interview anchor Maya Valerio will be speaking with Ali Wenzowski, an executive producer for After the Whistle. Stay tuned.
Hey, everybody. Thank you for tuning into this edition of Penn State Sports Night.
For all of us here at the Belisari Media Center, we are
Penn State Sports Night.
Live from the campus of Penn State University, this is PSN News.
Penn State Network News is a student-produced bi-weekly live news show featuring all student talent.
From local and national news to sports, entertainment, weather, and live interviews, we have it all.
We also feature student-made packages from across campus.
Airing every Monday and Wednesday at 7 p.m.
We are PSN News.
Be sure to check us out on Twitter and Facebook at PSN News, on Instagram at Penn State Network News, and to subscribe to our YouTube channel at youtube.com/PSN News.
Have a good night and stay safe, Penn State. Hey everyone, we are Red Carpet News, your main source of entertainment news at Penn State University.
Man, this festival is going to be popping.
I'm Alex Porzillo, you're here with Aiden Harrell.
He's going to 23rd with Daddy Elon Warbucks to actual space away from Kim.
So in sync, especially during Kendrick's part when they came out, reporting on anything from music, movies, TV shows, fashion, to celebrity gossip. You don't want to miss out on any of the hot topics we discuss.
Find our segments on YouTube under the name Red Carpet News for your daily dose of entertainment.
We are Red Carpet News.
Welcome back to PSN News. I'm Maya Valerio, and with me tonight is Allie Wenskowski, an executive producer for After the Whistle. Thank you so much for coming in tonight, Allie.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Of course. So to get started, what is After the Whistle?
So After the Whistle is a high school and Penn State sporting show that's live on Friday nights. So basically every Friday night we go out at 5 o'clock and we cover all the high school football games in the area. We go out up to an hour and a half away, which we've been doing the past few weeks because of playoffs. We go out, we shoot the games, we get interviews from our game of the week, and then we come back, we edit it all together, and at 11:30 we're live no matter what.
That's awesome. Sounds like a lot. So why did you get involved with After the Whistle in the first place?
So I got involved actually my first week of being a student here. As a freshman, I came in, I saw Bob Martin's emails to get involved in this high school sporting show, and I thought it'd be cool, so I checked it out. I went to a game my first week, met everyone there. That's like how I met the first people at school, and it was just a great experience, so I kept with it. I was in it last year as well. I was in it in the spring. In the spring, they do like other sports besides football, so I think that's pretty cool being like a baseball fan. But yeah, I just kept with it, and then I applied for EP last year, and then I interviewed for it, and yeah, this year I'm an executive producer for it.
That's awesome. So what does the schedule look like for the show? I know you explained it a little bit in your first answer, but give me some more details about that.
Yeah, so on Tuesdays, it's an all student-run organization. So on Tuesdays, we come together at 5 p.m. and we do a little planning meeting. So that's where we go through, we plan out who's going to what games we're covering. We also go through who's going to anchor, who's going to be our game of the week reporter, because we have a bunch of like on-air positions as well. And those are decided by the executive producers beforehand. And then we go through our meeting, decide who's going to games. And then that's pretty much for Tuesday. But then on Friday at 5 p.m., we all get into the studio upstairs. We do a little pre-meeting, and then we send off our crews. So students are driving to games. I'm usually driving to a game. We send out our crews. They go to their game. They get to the game around 6:30. So like an hour to half an hour before the game, set up, get programs and everything like that. Then we shoot the game. Usually we just go to halftime or a little into the third quarter, but our game of the week, which is one game every week, we'll shoot the whole game and then get an interview with a coach and a player after the game and do a stand-up and everything like that to make a package for the show. So then everyone comes back. Everyone but the game of the week will be back to the studio by 9:30. And that's where we just edit the rest of the night. Anchors get into the studio at 10:30 and then go live at 11:30.
That's awesome. Sounds like you have a busy schedule. So next, you are a producer for After the Whistle. What's your responsibilities in that position look like?
So it changes a little bit every week, but usually it just means on Tuesday we come to the studio a little bit early to discuss who's going to anchor, who's going to be a game of the week. So we make those decisions with our managing editor, who's like the top dog in charge. Once those are figured out, we're pretty much done for Tuesday. But then on Friday, we go out like normal, like all the other members. We shoot our games, we edit our VOs. But then after that, I just go through the entire script of the show, and I basically edit. I make sure there's no missing scores. There's plenty of scripts in, like everything's in, so we're ready to go at 11:30, because if something's missing, that's my fault. And then after the show, it's pretty simple. I just put away batteries, I clean up everything, and then I go home at about 1 a.m. every Friday.
Wow. So how is After the Whistle different from other sports shows here on campus? Because we have a lot.
We definitely do. And I am in sports night actually as well, so which is a little bit of a different taste. But I love After the Whistle. First off, it was live, which sports night wasn't live until last year. So I loved that right off the bat being a freshman. I could also get on-air reps as a freshman, which I know many shows also do that as well. But I think it's just so interesting. I mean, there's no other show out here that you go out all the same day, you get all your footage, you're the one filming, even freshmen. We have a full freshman crew going out this week. You're filming your game and you're putting it together. I just loved like how fast it was and that it was all one night. Now it is like 5 p.m. to 1 a.m. on Fridays, but I love it. Like I wouldn't change my Friday night for the world.
It definitely seems like it gives you some great real world experience for after we graduate. What is your favorite part of the show as a whole?
I love being an executive producer. I love that managing and just editing part, especially since I've been there so long. But I do love anchoring. I love getting behind the desk. I anchored last week with one of our other executive producers, and I've anchored a lot of times in my career there. But there's just something about going live. I mean, you do it here, you know what it's like, but there's something about going live in front of the camera that's just so exciting, especially reading highlights, which I don't have a script for, so I'm kind of just going off reps.
Right. How can anyone interested get involved in After the Whistle?
So it's so easy to join. We have had so many new members in the past year, which is wonderful. We take any grade, no matter what. So we have a lot of new freshmen, 2+2 students. Basically, you can just come to our Tuesday meeting, and from there, we'll get you started. We'll get you added to our group meet, which is where we send our messages. So it's Tuesday at 5 p.m. in the upstairs Willard studio or Fishbowl, whatever the room number is called. And yeah, we'll get you started. You won't be able to shoot your first week. We have you just come to the show and shadow what it's like, but then you can shoot your second week.
Awesome. And lastly, I want to know do you have any advice for those interested in joining After the Whistle?
I just say to do it. I mean, I just joined immediately and it was a great experience. It's my favorite club on campus. I've stuck with it. Now on Fridays in the fall, it is a big commitment, and it's a little bit less of a commitment in the spring because we do our show throughout the whole week instead of just Fridays. So if you're interested, come join now or come join in the spring if you're busy on Fridays. I mean, that is a big commitment, but just come join and see if you like it.
Well, Allie, thank you so much for joining us tonight. I really appreciate it and telling us all about your experience with After the Whistle. Now, stick around because coming up next, Eva and Audrey will have the latest news from across the nation.
Hey, everybody. Thank you for tuning into this edition of Penn State Sports Night.
For all of us here at the Belisari Media Center, we are
Penn State Sports Night.
Live from the campus of Penn State University, this is PSN News.
Penn State Network News is a student-produced bi-weekly live news show featuring all student talent.
From local and national news to sports, entertainment, weather, and live interviews, we have it all.
We also feature student-made packages from across campus.
Airing every Monday and Wednesday at 7 p.m.
We are PSN News.
Be sure to check us out on Twitter and Facebook at PSN News, on Instagram at Penn State Network News, and to subscribe to our YouTube channel at youtube.com/PSN News.
Have a good night and stay safe, Penn State.
Hey everyone, we are Red Carpet News, your main source of entertainment news at Penn State University.
Man, this festival is going to be popping.
I'm Alex Porzillo. You're here with Aiden Harrell.
He's going to 23rd with Daddy Elon Warbucks to actual space away from Kim.
So in sync, especially during Kendrick's part when they came out, reporting on anything from music, movies, TV shows, fashion, to celebrity gossip. You don't want to miss out on any of the hot topics we discuss.
Find our segments on YouTube under the name Red Carpet News for your daily dose of entertainment.
We are Red Carpet News.
One man is dead and at least 16 other people are injured after a shooting at Tuskegee University in Alabama on Sunday morning. The man killed has been identified as 18-year-old Latavion Johnson, who was not a student at the university. Authorities arrested 25-year-old Jaquez Myrick at the scene and charged him with possessing a machine gun. The university's president announced new security measures, including making the campus closed and requiring IDs for all students and staff. Classes were canceled for today and tomorrow, and counseling services are being offered. The FBI is still investigating the incident and is asking for tips or videos from witnesses.
12 Salisbury University students are facing assault and hate crime charges after luring and beating a man for his sexual preferences. The students, all men aged 18 through 21, were charged with first-degree assault, false imprisonment, reckless endangerment, and associated hate crimes. Salisbury police say the victim was invited to an apartment where approximately 15 men surrounded him upon entry and physically and verbally abused him. The victim told the police that he tried to leave several times. The arrested students have been placed on suspension from Salisbury University.
The FBI and state law enforcement are investigating racist text messages that reference slavery sent to Black individuals across multiple states, including California, Alabama, and Pennsylvania. At least 6 middle school students in Montgomery County reported receiving similar messages. The anonymous texts contain disturbing instructions, like showing up at a specific location with your belongings. Raised alarms. Civil rights groups have condemned the messages as hate speech, with many calling for action against the perpetrators. Federal agencies and wireless providers are investigating and blocking the numbers responsible.
On the California ballot, voters rejected a measure that would have amended the state constitution to ban forced prison labor. The Constitution currently prohibits involuntary servitude except as a punishment for crime. The failed Proposition 6 was included in a package of reparation proposals introduced as a part of an effort to offer redress for a history of discrimination against Black Californians. Multiple states, including Colorado, Tennessee, Alabama, Vermont, and Nevada, have voted to rid their constitutions of forced labor exemptions in recent years. That concludes our show tonight at PSN News.
Be sure to check us out on Twitter and Facebook at PSN News, on Instagram at Penn State Network News, and to subscribe to our YouTube channel at youtube.com/PSN News.
Have a good night and stay safe, Penn State.